There's magic in the air tonight.
And anything can happen. I suppose you want a kiss.
Kissing would be nice, yes?
It's The Princess and the Frog, but not quite the way you heard the story.
Transformation Central!
You must kiss me.
Excuse me?
Please, it will make me human again.
The Princess and the Frog.
Just one kiss.
Just one. Unless you beg for more.
Disney's film The Princess and the Frog was one of the first Disney films to begin the ongoing remodeling of their princess archetype. These topics will show how new factors in the film that were absent in previous films affect the most important aspect of princess films: romance.
The academic article Disney's Darlings, an analysis of The Princess and the Frog, Tangled, Brave, and the Changing Characterization of the Princess Archetype by Jenna Steffens, deals with recent introductions into the Disney princess canon. The article first presents the idea that the stereotypes concerning Disney princesses may be changing. Stevens also outlines each film and its character's departure from the norms in 3 individual sections. The article concludes with a discussion section reaffirming how changing cultural views concerning women are shifting and how Disney is adapting to these views. The article Princesses as Role Models for Young Girls by Micah Issett gives an overview of how the effects of the princess archetype, particularly the one prevalent in Disney films, are seen by modern culture. The article begins with a description of the princess archetype and compares it to celebrity status, preceding discussion of the history of the archetype and its Disney counterpart. The Disney princess marketing culture and its effects, as well as the use of princesses as role models, are also overviewed. This is presented to show how the presentation of Disney princesses is changing, with particular mention of The Princess and the Frog. The article The Strange Case of the Princess and the Frog, Passing and the Illusion of Race by A.J. Gelawat, is about the many issues a viewer may find in the Disney film. The article initially overviews the praises and concerns about the film. The first issue addressed is the time period and the segregation it implies. The next issue of the article involves the act of passing from one status to another in the film, and its similarities to another story. Prince Naveen's ambiguous cultural origin and the plot holes of the ending Tiana and Naveen's potential interracial marriage in an implied segregated setting also cause concern. Lastly, Tiana's work ethic is discussed, and the conclusion reviews implications the film has, especially in regards to the first black Disney princess spending most of her time on screen as a frog. Leonard Mundy's article, Men in Love, was written in response to Jorgen Lorenzen's argument that men's heterosexual love is rarely a site where men may experience positive social change. Mundy believes otherwise, using Simone de Beauvoir's The Ethics of Ambiguity and the Second Sex as the basis of his argument. Mundy counteracts Lorenzen's argument by focusing on the differences of the serious man, whom is focused on his masculinity before anything else, and the passionate man, whom is not concerned about what others feel he should or shouldn't do.
Unlike past Disney princess movies, The Princess and the Frog's female lead, Tiana, is African American. Tiana's race is one of the most prominent features of the film, showing a major difference from the typical Disney princess archetype, as previous princesses were depicted to have light skin.
The film takes place in a fantasized version of 1920s New Orleans, Louisiana. Though not directly spoken of, there are many hints of segregation which existed in the time period of the setting. A.J. Gelawat details a scene from the movie that exemplifies such hints of segregation in his article, The Strange Case of the Princess and the Frog, Passing, and the Elysion of Race, stating,
Tiana and her mother Eudora, a seamstress who takes care for the spoiled white daughter, Charlotte, of the richest white man in town, take the streetcar back to their own home in the evening at the film's outset, where they sit in the back along with another black character. The streetcar takes them past rows of beautiful white mansions and drops them off in the less opulent black section, featuring rows of similarly shaped bungalows sitting by themselves in the darkness of the city's outer periphery.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Prince Naveen.
In the film, Prince Naveen's ethnicity is ambiguous. It is implied that he is from a European country, but his skin tone is darker. Naveen's darker tone implies that he may be African or Indian instead, and by doing this, Disney avoids a multiracial couple in the ending. Whether this implies Disney thought audiences were not ready for such a couple, or if they intentionally confined love by race, is debatable.
You must kiss me.
Excuse me.
You will enjoy. I guarantee. All women enjoy the kiss.
According to Princesses as Role Models for Young Women by Micah Issett, the Disney princess archetype has been viewed by some as a point of contention due to how it shapes young girls' perspectives on how to act. This could potentially lead to these young viewers developing one specific end goal: marry a prince.
I would kiss a frog. I would kiss 100 frogs if I could marry a prince and be a princess.
Unlike previous Disney princesses, Tiana's main goal is to own a restaurant rather than fall in love. Tiana is also shown to be an independent and hard worker, largely contrasting how women were depicted in past Disney movies. While Tiana falls in love, she incorporates that love into her personal goal rather than making it her sole focus. Jenna Stevens writes in her article, Disney's Darlings,
This sets Tiana apart because she is not holding to the standard that most princesses set in the eyes of viewers, that one must be a princess to live an enchanted life. Instead, Tiana tries to understand the importance of balancing hard work and fun.
I worked hard for everything I've got, and that's the way it's supposed to be.
That's new.
In Dr. Mundy's article, The Question of Men in Love, a Bovarian response to Jorgen Lorentzen, he details two different types of men in love: the serious man who tries to possess women and the passionate man who does as he pleases. In The Princess and the Frog, Prince Naveen may be seen as a passionate man because he lives for the adventure of romance rather than to settle down. This affects his view of women at the beginning of the film, but by the end, Tiana has changed him for the better.
Alright, I just have to leave a string of broken hearts behind me.
Tiana actually shows disinterest in Naveen at the start of the film, focusing instead on her dream to own her own restaurant in honor of her father. In fact, she was trying to help her childhood friend win his heart. As the movie goes on, Tiana gradually gets to know Naveen and watches his character grow, as well as Naveen does with Tiana.
Look, besides being unbelievably handsome, okay, I also happen to come from a fabulously wealthy family. Surely I could offer you some type of reward, a wish I could grant, perhaps? Yes?
Look, I'm sorry. I'd really like to help you, but I just do not kiss frogs.
This eventually leads to them falling in love with each other and get married at the end of the film. Both were focused on their own desires: money, the prince, and agency, a restaurant for Tiana. After watching each other grow, they set aside their differences and realized their love for each other.
Love in Princess and the Frog may be seen as the result of hard work and getting to know one another, rather than chance meetings, whether it was due to circumstances or other incorporated factors in the film. It is implied that love may not know social stratification, but it still may show racial recognition. Despite this, the film does support love as being a mutual interest in each other, rather than a means to an end.
Dreams do come true when
you. Oh, thank you. I love you too, baby.